What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fight Cave. I'm joined in the Everlast studio by my partner, Sergio Da Silva. What's going on, Sergio?
What's happening, Matt?
And very excited for today's show and today's guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the babysitter to the stars, Mr. Burt Watson. What's going on, Burt?
Man, I'm trying to make it, baby. How about yourself?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for traveling all the way to New York City to
all the way from Philly.
Yes, sir.
Driving and parking and paying to park.
And coming up to the third floor.
And coming up to the third floor because I don't do fourth,
I didn't know that till today.
No, man, I'm definitely afraid of heights. Definitely. You got all the windows, blinds up. You know, this young lady can tell you that when I went to their office to do a meeting, an alliance meeting. It was up on the 110th floor or 13? That's 110 to me. Let's change something because I'm feeling like I'm falling out of this damn chair right now.
Oh wow, okay, all right. Let's move on. Moving on. Well, let's talk about what you're doing now with Alliance MMA.
It's a situation now with Alliance MMA where they acquire regional promotions, and that's regional promotions all over the United States. Regional promotions really don't or didn't have the muscle, the finances, or the backing behind them to attract sponsorships, television deals, venues, to get into larger venues. They didn't have that. Now, with the emphasis on Alliance MMA and Alliance MMA acquiring these regional promotions, now they have the resources and the backbone and the muscle and the support of other promotions to do that. And at the same time, it gives the fighter who grew up and is fighting, has fought only in Seattle, Washington, an opportunity to fight in Indiana or Chicago or in Baltimore or New Jersey, where Alliance and its promotions are located. And I'm totally excited and stoked about that. And it's also the first publicly traded company,
yes,
from my understanding. That's involvement, and I'm excited about the whole concept. Aside from the fact that it keeps me home, and I don't have to kind of get on a plane too often, and travel as much as before. I'm just excited, but more for the regional promotions and the fighters. Man, I've been blessed, because it's like, the hell with a cat. I got 22 lives, because it just seems to keep going and going and going, and from boxing to MMA to here now, and to get in on the ground floor of Alliance and CFFC. It's like I'm starting all over again, but it's all good, and it's a good thing. Yeah, I started in boxing early 70s. I met Joe, just to kind of compress it a little bit. I met Joe Frazier. We became, friends, and just kind of kept in touch with each other and kept the conversations, and when he went to Philadelphia, and he was in Philadelphia, lived in Philadelphia, had a limousine service that he was running, and I ended up being from Philly, ended up back in Philly with him, and kind of worked with him. And most of the people that were around him, he decided that it was time for them to move on and do something else, and he kind of pulled me up as his manager, and I stayed in Philly, and I worked with him in Philly, and I did that until about 1995 or 96. At that time when things started to get a little lean, and I didn't want to get out of boxing. I wanted to stay in boxing. When I was about to leave Joe, Butch called me and said, "Listen, man, I'm gonna start doing my own thing." And it was in Atlantic City at the resorts, and he had Michael Spinks, he had Leon, he had a couple of others, Maurice Blocker. These were some of the Finger Twins he had. These are old boxing names that you guys probably don't know, but he had those, and he actually got Bernard Hopkins. And it was when Bernard Hopkins first came out of prison. The very first person he came to was Joe and Butch, and he was going to promote Bernard Hopkins' first fight. And he said to me, "Listen, if you're going to still plan to stay in the sport and be around, why don't you come on with me and you just help me?" That was the first job I ever had as a coordinator. He brought me on, and he, you know what? He brought me on. He put me out there, and he stepped back. You know, I did contracts, writing contracts, getting contracts signed, working with the commission, going out, finding a hotel, finding a venue, finding a ring, finding a workout, someplace for the fighters to work out, you know, finding a place for them to do their training, you know, finding where the local supermarket was, where the local, you know, pharmacy was, all those things that he just said, you know what, whatever it is that you think we need to do, you do it. And I did that, and that was my start of working as a coordinator. And when it's time to go to work, that means we got at least a 6-0 to go. We got a dirty 30 before we hit that hole, baby. We got 5-0 before we roll, so it's time to go to work. And when it's time to go to work, you know what that means, baby. We rollin'! Yeah!